Snippet here. Hey, it's Juck. At number one, the most beautiful uniform in all of sport. If they brought back the gray stripes, this thing is so far out in front of everybody, you can't touch it. We are not bemoaning the noon kickoff. We are now owning it. It's a badge of honor. We're the lunatic fringe that defines our coach's legacy when it comes to this game. They don't get to define that outside the family. We're cut from a different cloth for Ohioans. Do I want Michigan to beat Oklahoma? No way in hell. I don't know what world I'm living in. This is insane to me. And if you saw my outburst, I apologize. It's showtime now. Hey, it's Chuck. Welcome in. We got some big recruiting news. Let me first play something for you right quick. Ohio State go take this trip out west, and they go out west and they're offering some new guys and going and visiting some guys that they have offered. And one of the guys that Larry Johnson and Matt Patricia had offered and went and visited was Kari Wilder. And Kari Wilder is out of Junipero Serra. They go out and visit this kid at his house. Now, this is a composite 4-star, top 250 guy. Averaged out to be like the number 32 defensive lineman in the country, which is similar to the kid out of Alabama that Larry offered recently. So I wanted to watch the kid, of course, as I always do. Now, last year, at about this time, when you were missing some guys and kind of dropping down the board, the Buckeyes fell upon Jarquez Carter. And when I watched Jarquez Carter's film, my immediate reaction was, oh my gosh, they missed one. They missed one. And by they, I mean the people doing the rankings, they missed one because he looked like a baby Warren Sapp. I was super stoked. And it was clear that they missed one. And I'm telling you right now, watch Kari Wilder. This kid is legit. And to me, he has just jumped ahead of a whole lot of these guys that are rated way higher than him on my board. As far as the dudes that are coming in for official visits, this dude is the real deal. I mean, absolute real deal. Crazy burst, crazy get off, the violence, the motor. This guy's highlight is 7 minutes long. Most of these defensive linemen's like 2.5 minutes. It's just play after play after play, violence, fire. He's got it all. He's got it all. And if I were to show you him, and I were to show you the number 4 guy, you would have no idea who was who because they look exactly the same. It's all there. So they missed one. And Larry and Matt Patricia are bringing this dude in. And he's going to set up an official. Currently, here's the best part. His officials right now are UCLA and Washington. So USC's not in on him, which I don't know how that happened. They offered him, but they're not in on him. And this dude is for real. He's absolutely for real. I would love to get this guy. In fact, if you told me right now, based on Ohio State's board, when we look at all the studs on that board, there's a whole lot of guys on here that I would trade for this kid, like straight up. This isn't one of those situations where you're missing and dropping down the board. I don't know why. You only got Washington and UCLA in on this dude. Not just that, 3.6 GPA. I'm trying to sit here and figure out, like, okay, what am I missing here? Is it grades? No, 3.6 GPA. Listen to an interview. Very mild-mannered, nice-spoken kid. All right, man. Yeah, they just missed. They missed, but the Buckeyes are in on them, and I am pumped for this one. And they did miss. They did miss. I nailed it, but the good news is we don't always see them course correct. In this case, they have course corrected, given them a proper evaluation, and big news as Kari Wilder is now officially a 5-star prospect, the number 14 prospect in the country. I can't believe it, man. Very rarely do we see them course correct so much after a guy has committed to a school. This is just big time news. And, you know, he goes to that rivals camp and absolutely dominated. We saw a big time jump. I wasn't quite so sure they were going to put him in 5-star status. This is wild. This is awesome. He certainly deserves it. And the beauty of this is now as we're watching Matt Patricia's defense, what we're watching with Caden Curry, Kari fits that perfectly. He is the next guy that can do that role where they got Caden coming inside, playing nose, playing on the end, playing everywhere. And Kari plays with that same kind of motor. I absolutely love this, but it gets better. So what they do is they slot guys. Now your top 32 at the end of the cycle are 5 stars, right? But they don't award the 5 stars immediately. They milk it as they go, because once they give it, they don't want to take it away at this point in the cycle. So they need to make sure. Well, when we look at the rankings now, obviously you've got Chris Henry Jr. as a 5-star, though he's not per Rivals. When anybody hits 5-star status from one of the services, they get the 5th star. We call him a 5-star from any service. So Chris Henry Jr. is a 5-star at ESPN in the 247 composite. So you've got him. You've got Kari Wilder. You had Blaine Bradford. He's now dropped out. He doesn't have a 5th star from anyone now, though he's not too far out. He'll have an opportunity this year to gain that back. We'll see. But without a doubt, you got Chris Henry Jr. Now you got Kari Wilder, and have a look, see right now at the current rankings. And we've got our boy Sam Greer out here at Akron, number 17 in the country. And he is way too far away from 32 to drop down. He started off this season looking great. He's getting better every week. So 100% Sam will be a 5-star as well, which means a top 4. The Buckeyes will finish this class with 3 5-stars minimum. And if Bradford gets his back, 4 5-stars. And that's fantastic. That's fantastic, because we just had a 2 5-star class a couple cycles ago. And it's, it happens. It happens. It was looking not so great as far as the high-end ranked guys, but Kari Wilder, they nailed it. Patricia nailed it. Larry nailed it. They were in on this guy. Like I said there in the video, he had a Washington, UCLA, and Notre Dame offer. USC wasn't even pursuing, and he's right there in California. So total boneheads. Bucks got him on board. Going to be a leader of this class, going to be an early playing time guy, and it's fantastic. So that is the big news on committed prospects. As far as uncommitted prospects, I went out to see Sincere Johnson. I told you guys the Glenville game at Massillon to start the season. And I went and saw Sincere duel it out with the linebacker on the other side for Massillon. And I'm like, who in the hell is this kid? He outplayed Sincere. Is what I said when I came on here the next day. Like, actually, there's a 3-star on the other side playing for Massillon that outplayed Sincere. He's about 6'2", 205, named Jaden Williams, a 3-star committed to Indiana. And the kid was fast as lightning and probably had 20 tackles that day. 20 tackles. He was in on everything, and he was lighting them up. And I'm thinking, like, wait a minute. This kid's going to Indiana? Are you kidding me? Well, it turns out James Laurinaitis was at that game too. And I talked to Jaden. He said, well, it was his best game. It was his best game he's had. But it was a phenomenal game, and it flashed everything that James needed to see to at least have him to the shoe and take in the game against Ohio. Now, he doesn't have an offer yet, but there's not a 3rd linebacker in the class. And when we kind of look at the room moving forward, who do you got next year? Well, you were kind of counting on, I think, going into the season that you would probably have Arvell next year. It certainly is looking less and less like that, as he could potentially creep his way into the middle of the 1st round at this point. So let's say Sonny and Arvell go. Well, what have you got? You've got Peyton Pierce. You've got Garrett Stover. Then you got Riley Pettijohn, Eli Lee, TJ Alford. And then coming in, you've got Sincere Johnson and CJ Sana. That's 7 scholarship linebackers. There's some other guys. You got Bo Jackson's brother, but that's your 7 guys right there. You want 8, which means Laurinaitis has room. If he wants Jaden Williams, I think he can flip him. But does he want him? We'll see. I'm sure he's going to keep monitoring. I got to say, the kid right now is a 3-star kid. He's ranked like number 792 in the country. And that is, honestly, I would probably say he's probably should be around the 400th ranked player in the country. Like, that's the kind of talent he is right now. But another 20 pounds on him, keeping that speed, like, that's a total dude. And that would be a big time score. Not only that, but you would have 3 Ohio linebackers in the class, which would be pretty damn cool, with CJ Sana, Sincere Johnson, and Jaden Williams. So I'm really rooting for that. In addition to that, We talked the other day about the kid out of Shelby, Ohio. He's a defensive lineman named Carter Kessler. And I'm going to pull his stuff up here. Carter Kessler out of Shelby, Ohio. We talked about him last week. This is a guy who kind of just came on the radar. Got one P4 offer to West Virginia, and that just came in recently. Now, he wasn't even ranked last week. This week, they saw that offer. They took a look at him. They got him as a 3-star and top 1,000 guy. This is a guy who is a big body, 3.9 GPA. He doesn't have exceptional change of direction or burst, but he's got a really good motor. And it's a kid who is a big body, who's smart and driven. And it's the kind of guy, right? What do we talk about when we're going to take a flyer that maybe you wouldn't have normally taken when you only had 85 scholarships? Where do you want it to be? You want it to be on the offensive or defensive line. And if it's a kid from Ohio, it makes all the sense in the world to give a couple more shots to a few guys like that on the lines. So if there is some interest on Ohio State's end, I'd be all for this. However, this is not like, okay, we got Kari Wilder and Carter Kessler. That's our defensive end haul in this class. You're still going to want them to go out and try to dig under some rocks and find somebody else. Had a lot of people talk to me recently or ask about UCLA. Is there anything out at UCLA now that they've fired Deshaun Foster that the Bucks could potentially get in on? And there is a really good defensive end, but they didn't offer him. They didn't seem to want him. He's a top 100 kid, and he's an Ohio State fan. I'll pull up his info for you. So these are the two guys that they got committed that are worth, somebody looking at, right? Carter Gooden is the defensive end we talked about. Obviously, everybody familiar with Micah Smith, who was at one time a pretty heavy Buckeye lean out of Vero Beach, Florida. Micah got a huge offer. That landed him at UCLA, and I don't think that's going to change. I think he'll ride out that huge offer with the changing of the guard. Carter Gooden, on the other hand, who's to know? When we look at Carter Gooden, we're talking about a kid who 247 has a top 100 prospect, right? 247 composite, a top 202. This is a guy who's a highly rated kid at 6'4", 260. He's raw. He is, I believe, from Canada, hasn't been playing football very long. Got the measurables. Again, another really, really smart kid, like a 4.0 GPA, and has said on record he's an Ohio State fan. His list of offers doesn't include a ton of heavy hitters. He's got a couple in there, but nothing like Ohio State, which doesn't really correspond to that ranking of a top 200, top 100 guy. Normally you'd see all the big dogs after him. And they're kind of seeing the same thing I'm seeing on film, which is, yeah, he's good. I don't think he's a top 100 guy. I wouldn't put him anywhere near that. Certainly a 4-star kid, a low-end 4-star type of guy. But the point is, Ohio State could have got in on him, and they didn't before. Will we see them now that, a lot of the options at that time have kind of fizzled out? I suppose it's a possibility. I haven't heard of any interest from Ohio State towards him. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. As for Virginia Tech, having fired their head coach, no, there's nothing there that I think is Ohio State caliber. And that's probably why that guy, one of the reasons why he's out the door. So that's where we currently stand with those potential guys. In addition to that, Landry Breedy, the offensive lineman from Mentor, who Tyler Bowen chose to offer after game number 2 of his high school season. The North Carolina State commit is had a visit to the Buckeyes, came over for the Ohio game, and this one I suspect will 100% be a flip to Ohio State, which will round out that class with 5 offensive linemen, and I think that's where it's going to end. And when we talk about this class now, you've got, let me pull his stuff up for you. So 6'5", 275 is Landry Breedy. You're looking at a guy now that has a lot of potential here, and an Ohio kid to add on to the list with Sam Greer, 5-star true tackle from Hoban, with Max Riley, and that's 3 Ohio kids. And then you got 2 Arizona kids and Tucker Smith, the interior guy, and the true tackle, Aaron Thomas. So a really good haul by Tyler Bowen, class number 1 in an abbreviated class for him. Obviously, he locked down the 2 biggest targets in the state, which were huge. And the fact that Sam Greer is now kind of widely recognized as another someone in the caliber of Emmanuel Iheanacho and maybe Jackson Cantwell even type of prospect, which he always was, and Ohio State saw him that way. Now everybody else is catching on. He's that kind of dude, and he's only getting better. So with that, Aaron Thomas, also 6'6", over 300 pounds, the former defensive lineman. He is starting off the season this year. We'll check on him after a couple games when his film gets updated and see how he's progressed, because he is new to the offensive line as of last year, but a really great athlete. I think that was a huge score, and I really like this class. Tucker Smith, also just a dog. He reminds me of one of these Ohio kids, quite honestly. He fits in perfectly. So a great job by Tyler Bowen, class number 1. Kari Wilder gets his 5th star. We've got a potential in-state prospect in Jaden Williams that James Laurinaitis is keeping an eye on. We got a potential defensive line prospect in Carter Kessler that Larry Johnson is keeping his eye on. And the guys over at UCLA, we'll see. We'll see if we hear anything about Carter Gooden, but I don't expect anything at all coming from Micah. So that's where we're at. I guess that's about it. All right. Appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon.